Okay, so, we always get a bunch of really interesting stuff sent our way, but this deep dive, it's about food tech.
Hmm.
And I'll admit, at first glance, I thought, okay, how riveting can this be?
Right.
But then I dug in. You sent over some articles about this company, TraceGains, getting
Yeah.
acquired. And let me tell you, this is way more than just some boring business deal.
Oh, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head.
Really?
It's actually it's a potential game changer for the entire food and beverage industry.
Okay, so give me the elevator pitch.
So imagine this.
Uh,
The way our food travels, from farm to plate,
yeah.
this acquisition is it could seriously shake things up.
Okay, well, for those of us who maybe skip breakfast and need a little caffeine boost to follow along, let's start with the basics. What exactly happened with this TraceGains deal?
All right, so picture this. October 7th, 2024.
Okay.
Veralto Corporation, they're big in water and product quality solutions. In fact, they actually use the tagline, and I love this, safeguarding the world's most vital resources.
I mean, that's a bold statement.
Right.
Safeguarding the world's most vital resources.
Big stakes. So anyway, they acquired TraceGains.
Okay.
Now, Veralto, they might not be a household name for everyone listening,
Yeah.
but they play a huge role in making sure the things we rely on every single day are, well, safe.
Okay, so they're the silent guardians of, our water, our products,
Exactly.
keeping everything running smoothly behind the scenes.
Precise.
And they see this TraceGains acquisition as a key part of that. But, I mean, let's be real. We see acquisitions in the tech world like every other day. What makes this one, the main course instead of just an appetizer?
It's all about their laser focus on food and beverage.
Okay.
TraceGains, they've carved out this niche for themselves. They do cloud-based software, right?
Yeah.
But specifically designed to help food companies manage their supply chains better.
Okay, so we're talking everything from, I don't know, sourcing ingredients
Yes.
to making sure suppliers meet quality standards.
Absolutely. Sourcing, quality control, even new product development. It's like a digital helping hand throughout the entire process.
So it's kind of like they're bringing the Silicon Valley revolution to an industry that, I don't know, maybe hasn't seen as much disruption as others.
That's a great way to put it. I mean, think about it. The food supply chain. It's massive. It's intricate. It's like a giant puzzle with a million pieces, and all those pieces got to fit together perfectly.
Right. You've got farms, factories, distributors, retailers. And don't even get me started on the logistics of getting everything from point A to point B
Yeah.
Before it goes bad.
It's mind-boggling when you really think about it. And
Yeah.
any little hiccup along the way, well, it can have a domino effect.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Delays, shortages, you name it.
Exactly.
And in some cases, it could even lead to, safety issues.
Absolutely. And that's really where TraceGains comes in. Their whole thing is making the system faster, more transparent, and most importantly, safer.
Okay, now we're talking.
Because at the end of the day, when it comes to the food we put in our bodies, there's no room for error.
None whatsoever. Safety is non-negotiable.
You got it.
Okay, so faster, safer, more transparent. I mean, it all sounds pretty amazing.
Right.
But how do they actually, make it happen? What's the secret sauce in this TraceGains tech?
Well, for starters, they've got this thing they call a networked ingredients marketplace.
Okay.
Which, and this is key, they say it's the first and only one out there.
Really?
First and only, that's their claim anyway. But think of it like, those online marketplaces, but instead of I don't know, vintage clothes or something.
Right.
You've got food companies, and they're on there searching for, say, the perfect ethically sourced coffee beans.
Okay, so it's like a digital farmer's market, but for the big leagues.
Exactly. But it goes beyond just, connecting the dots between buyers and suppliers. They've got all these built-in tools for supplier management.
Yeah.
So you can easily keep track of certifications, audits, all that important stuff.
So less paperwork, more peace of mind.
Precisely. Less room for, things slipping through the cracks. Let's say you're a supplier of, I don't know, those delicious organic tomatoes we were talking about before.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having to email, PDFs of your certifications to every single buyer individually,
Right.
you just upload them once to the TraceGains platform.
And boom, anyone who wants to buy those tomatoes, they can instantly see that you meet all the requirements.
Exactly. It's all about streamlining, making things easier.
I mean, that's got to save everyone so much time and hassle.
Oh, absolutely. Time is money, right?
Especially in the food industry, where things are, always moving.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. For suppliers, it's totally free to use.
Oh, wow. Okay, now that's a game changer.
Right. Talk about an incentive to sign up.
I mean, it's a no-brainer for suppliers, and for buyers, they get access to this, like, huge network of verified suppliers.
Exactly. Everybody wins.
It's like they've created this, like, self-sustaining ecosystem.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so we've got faster, safer, more efficient. I mean, it's all adding up.
Right.
But let's zoom out for a second. For those of us who, aren't knee-deep in the food tech world every day,
Yeah.
why does this matter? Why should we, the people who just, enjoy eating food,
Right.
care about any of this?
Because, believe it or not, this isn't just about software or even, supply chains. This acquisition is a huge signal that the entire food industry, it's on the verge of a digital revolution.
Okay, I'm listening.
And like any revolution, it's going to have a ripple effect on everyone.
So what does that look like for, the average person? Give me an example.
Think about it this way. Better data. It means better traceability.
Okay.
And better traceability. It means better transparency.
Right.
And all of that leads to a safer, more sustainable food system for everyone.
So, like, if there's a recall, let's say, on spinach
Yeah.
because of contamination or something,
Exactly.
companies can use this kind of technology to figure out exactly where it came from.
Precisely. No more guessing games, no more widespread panic.
Wow. Okay, that's huge. So, like, almost like a safety net for our food system.
That's a great analogy.
And I imagine it goes beyond just, like, safety.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely. Let's say you're someone who's really passionate about, I don't know, ethical sourcing or reducing your carbon footprint.
Right.
This technology can give you more visibility into those aspects of the supply chain as well.
So you can actually make informed choices about the food you buy.
Exactly. It's about empowering the consumer.
I like it. Knowledge is power.
Absolutely. And speaking of power, we mentioned Veralto earlier.
Right. The safeguarding the world's most vital resources, folks.
Exactly. They see this acquisition as a key part of that mission, especially when it comes to food and beverages.
Okay.
And it fits in really well with their existing digital portfolio. They've
Right.
got this company, Esko. They're big in packaging and print production software.
So they're kind of creating this whole ecosystem from, like, farm to package.
Exactly. Building a seamless system.
I mean, who knows what's next? Maybe they'll acquire a farm next and, like, complete the whole cycle.
Right. From seed to supermarket.
Possibilities are endless.
That's what's so exciting about it. It's like we're getting a glimpse into the future of food.
And it all starts with, like, a seemingly simple acquisition.
Exactly. Sometimes the biggest changes come from the most unexpected places.
It really makes you think,
What's that?
just how much, like, behind-the-scenes complexity goes into something as, I don't know, every day is food.
Yeah.
Like, we just go to the store, grab what we need, don't really think twice about it.
Right. It's easy to take it for granted.
Exactly. But then you have something like this TraceGains acquisition, and it's like, whoa, there's a whole digital revolution happening behind the scenes.
Absolutely. A silent revolution.
And that revolution, it's all about making our food system, safer, more efficient.
Or transparent.
Right. All those things.
And it's really incredible when you think about it, right? It's like this massive, intricate web of, farms and factories and shipping routes and grocery stores.
Yeah.
And somehow they're finding ways to, like, manage it all, at least partially, with software.
It's like orchestrating a symphony, but instead of instruments, it's like tomatoes and shipping containers.
That's a great analogy. And, like, every ingredient, every shipment, it's like a different note in the symphony.
And with this kind of technology, you can actually, like, fine-tune those notes.
Exactly. Make sure everything's in harmony.
So that the final product, the food that ends up on our plates,
Right.
it's the best it can be.
Precisely. And this push for, a more transparent and traceable food system, it's not just coming from, like, tech companies, it's also coming from regulators.
Oh, right, because there are, like, actual rules about this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Food safety regulations, and they're only getting stricter, which, frankly, is a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So companies, they need tools like TraceGains to, keep up, make sure they're in compliance.
So the win-win,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Companies get the tools they need to navigate this increasingly complex regulatory landscape. And we, the eaters, we get peace of mind knowing that our food is, held to a higher standard.
I think that's a great place to wrap up our deep dive. This has been surprisingly fascinating, I have to say.
Me too.
And it just goes to show, there's always more than meets the eye, even when it comes to something as seemingly simple as, I don't know, grabbing a bag of chips at the store.
Exactly. There's a whole world behind that bag of chips, a whole ecosystem of people and processes and technology.
And thanks to this deep dive, we've got a little glimpse into that world.
It's been a pleasure exploring it with you.
Likewise. And for those of you listening, thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of food tech. And be sure to send in your questions for our next deep dive, because who knows where we'll explore next.